Welcome to the Pintsizepodcast, Season 2, Episode 3. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Birds is chirping. Kids are out of the house. You know what I mean? Q's hair is done.
Birds are not chirping.
Flourishing. Birds are they chirping somewhere?
It's 11 degrees. They covering for shelter. They're getting shelter.
Definitely. But you know, it's still a great day.
It's 69 degrees, 70. I'm sorry.
69 degrees, right?
I don't know who asked anybody, but okay.
You know,
We're flexible, okay.
I'm saying because y'all was talking about the weather. I mean, you know, I'd rather give some positive energy than all that depression of 11 degrees.
Oh, don't get it. It's the sun is shining, but it's 11 degrees.
Depression? No, I ain't no depression.
Yeah, he done made us depressed because it's 11 degrees. Now we depressed.
He was thinking about what it felt like when he lived here. So, you know, he had a little flashback. It's cool. You don't hope it's snowing.
No. The pettiness.
I'm Blue Just Trey, here with the beautiful. I'm looking at myself, actually. Anyway, y'all can say y'all names. You know what I'm saying? Let me get off of myself. Go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
It's Juwanna, a.k.a. Q Money, not Kodak.
Deuces.
I love it. Well, you know, I mean, hey, the show wouldn't be the show without the marketing coach. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be here, man. You know, I want to keep it live for y'all. Donovan Boyd here, the marketing coach. I'm never gonna disappoint you. I'm live and in effect.
This dude just made himself a whole 90s rap group. I'm here live in effect.
Two live crew, baby.
Today is what? The 8th of February. 8th of February, as Boyd pointed out, it's 69 where he is, and it's 11 where we are. But I swear that it's bright outside. It's not gloomy. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason to feel crazy. Super Bowl happened last night. Q didn't watch.
Oh, you didn't watch the Super Bowl?
Not even a commercial.
I did turn to it, then I get me out of here. Turn to it, get me out of here.
Get me out of here?
He wasn't that enthusiastic to me.
It kind of was very anticlimactic, but you was probably at the house by yourself, weren't you?
Don't worry, don't do that.
I was wondering. I was wondering, was that like
that's why I was on Lonely Island.
Was that a singles approach? Like,
but don't do that.
I was watching it, but I mean, at least you ain't go to a Super Bowl party.
I ain't want to. Sometimes I like just being by myself. I'm cool. I was actually good. Lou all on my line, trying to figure out where the fun at, because he called me for the fun.
No, I was actually having fun. I was cool. I was trying to make sure that you wasn't at home alone, you know.
No, it didn't.
You didn't watch the Hey, boy, she didn't watch.
I didn't have a babysitter. I didn't have a babysitter, so I just made the Super Bowl party here. You know, I made some good vegetarian options. You know, on the Super Bowl side, I made the queso with the impossible meat, and I did the sliders too.
With the impossible patties.
You think it's healthy because he using impossible meat?
No, I'm just saying. I rather that. I don't eat meat, you know. So I did a little alternative option.
How long has it been?
April 1st will be 2 years.
Of no what?
No meat. Beef, chicken, pork, turkey, lamb, any of the sorts.
Congratulations.
So April, no, sometime in March. I don't remember when it was. When it happened during the pandemic, I stopped eating chicken, pork, all that stuff outside of fish during the pandemic last year. So it'd be a year for me. You know what I'm saying? Kind of going strong. So tell me, are you a carbitarian now?
Definitely don't know what that is.
Do you know what a carb is?
I know carbs, like bread.
Bread and pasta. So,
correct.
Do you find yourself doing more of the bread and pasta versus the meat?
Nope.
That would make you a carbitarian.
Yeah, no, I don't do it.
Okay. I ain't trying to.
Yeah, I've had stints where I don't even, like eat any bread, or I've tried to avoid carbs too.
So I'm asking because
certain time.
I hate to say this, and I ain't trying to tear down my vegan and vegetarian friends, but sometimes the reverse effect happens when they give up all of that stuff. They become carbitarians and they actually get bigger.
Correct. So I've made a conscious effort, but I definitely had sliders with bread on them. It was definitely buns on the sliders. But I get what you're saying. I know I do know some people that have done that and tried to overcompensate and eat heavy pastas and stuff like that. So
French fries when they eat meat too.
Right.
Potatoes, all of those starches, all of that stuff. You know what I mean? I deal with that a lot. I got a lot of people who get that stuff up, but then they just replace it with a whole bunch of carbs and stuff, so it kind of end up having an adverse effect. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to talk them off of that ledge. So,
But the game was good, and my food was good, right? And I enjoyed a good game. Shout out to Tom Brady, man, the GOAT. Is he the GOAT?
Did it come out the way that you expected it to?
I expected them to win.
Same.
I expected them to win. I don't know if they making it so he can win. I don't know what it is, but I knew that he was going to win.
Are you taking shots at the NFL right now?
No, I mean, it was a couple shady calls. You know what I'm saying?
Passes.
It was some shady calls in the game before, because it should have been the Browns in the Tampa Bay. So, I mean, even if you want – and that's that was another reason, because they barely beat the Browns.
Barely. I agree.
Barely beat the Browns.
Right? Okay.
They barely beat the Browns, and it was a controversial call. So, and even that call, with the refs, you hate to say it comes down to the referees, but in certain cases that definitely happens. But I don't know. I think we witnessed history, as far as one man won 7 Super Bowls. I don't necessarily feel like he should have got MVP, but hey, he's the golden. He's the poster child.
Before we pivot a little bit, who do you think should have got MVP if not him?
I feel like the defense. The defense, but you can't really do that. I seen an article in the New York Times that they said that the reason why they really won that game is because of the preparation of the defensive coordinator.
I agree. I mean, it's 50-50 though. If you think about it, the offense still got to score, the defense still got to defend. So it's 50-50. I think it was a team effort. They all did their job. They had to give it to somebody though. Why not cement, his legacy, I guess. But I ain't gonna take nothing away from him. I personally think he's the greatest quarterback we've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? With my limited time watching football, so
You say he's the greatest quarterback
that I've ever seen.
Right? Is he the greatest player?
That's hard. I think that's too hard. It's a little different in basketball. I think, you know what I mean? You got 52 people. Like, what if your kicker never makes the kick? You know what I'm saying? Your wide receiver never drops the ball. Like, how can you – or your running back runs for a certain amount of yards every year. It's just – I think football is a little harder. Basketball, you only got 5 guys to choose from, so it's a little easier, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, but okay. I understand that. But I mean, they're all team sports, right?
Yeah.
They're not individual sports. So, I mean, it's still a space that you can say, well, this person is the greatest that's done it.
Okay. Yeah, and I
but I understand that football. I understand the football aspect, because you can't have one without the other, right? So you can't have a quarterback without a center, right? You know what I'm saying? Whereas basketball, hey, one man can score, potentially score all the points and all of that. So, I mean, it's cool. I think he's the best quarterback. I mean, I guess he might be the best football player of time. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even like to get into that because I feel like it's just too many options. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to football versus some other things.
But Q, you didn't see it. Did you see the guy run on the field in the bikini or in the bathing suit? Well, you missed all of that.
I missed that.
Oh man,
I missed that. That's what I did.
Yeah, he got tackled for about 6 guys out there. Looked like they handcuffed. Looked like they handcuffed his ankles too. He ran out there in a pink bathing suit. I don't know.
Okay.
Might have set the tone of what the weekend did.
I want to know, what color was that man?
Oh, he was white. For sure.
Come on, man. Why are you doing that? That makes no sense. You paid all that money to go to the Super Bowl, and then you want to ruin it by running on the field in a pair of Speedos. You know you don't you? Like, for real. Anyway.
But they live for that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I would do it, but I don't think I would do it. You know what I'm saying?
Anybody doing that goofy shit? Guys, so what? We still Black History Month. We want to make sure that we still, celebrating that, throwing out our tidbits. Q told me that she was gonna actually have her.
I do have a fact.
You got your facts?
I just have. I'm doing one a week.
I'm sorry, your fact.
Yeah, I have my fact. So, Black History Month is in February. It's the month of February because Abraham Lincoln's birthday, Frederick Douglass' birthday. And it used to be a week, but now it's a month because they advocated a week is too short. So they made it a month. That's all I got. That's all I got.
So what does Abraham Lincoln got to do with it?
It's his birthday. He freed the slaves. So they had been celebrating him and Frederick Douglass. So they decided that, what's his name? Carter G. Woodson decided that schools should make this a thing. And it was called Negro History Week. And it wasn't until, I think, President Ford in the 1970s declared it Black History Month. But my thing about that was, instead of calling it how people don't want to be Black, they want to be African American. But then are we celebrating African American History Month, or are we celebrating Black History Month? Because it's okay to call it Black History when we're talking about this, but then you don't want to be called Black sometimes. Some of us.
Or colored.
So if we talking Black history, we talking about everything Black, whether it's on one continent or another, correct? But if we talk about African American, it only makes it one thing.
We're talking about Black history. Well, I guess it's saying the Black history of America and not African American, African.
Okay, so it's still the Black history of. So basically, it's still African American.
You know what I mean? It just gets tricky with the wording.
Always tricky.
It's the wordplay. It's wordplay.
Always tricky with the words, man. So
I like that you had your.
I had a few more, but I didn't study all.
I'm glad you had your.
We did say, why is it just a month opposed to all year? So
little known Black history fact.
Oh shoot! Here we go. All right. So while we on the content, while we talking about Black history, we wanted to highlight the big picture of Black history, some stuff that you guys may have known, and then we wanted to highlight some stuff you may not have known. So what I'm going to do is allow Boyd to introduce our next guest, who will be on our show in a sec.
Sorry about that. So, in the spirit of Black History Month, I think that, we talked about, last episode, when we talked about giving people their roses or their flowers while they're still living, right? And I think that the crazy thing about Black History Month is, or just Black history or African American history, is that it is still being created to this day, right? And in 2021, we're still having first, right? We're still having the first Black this or the first Black that. So, you know, what I wanted to do is I went to school at Fordham University, which was a PWI, a predominantly white institution. It was 86% Caucasian. It was 4% African American. So definitely was a culture shock. But then going to New York City was more of a culture shock because we were in a big city, right? We didn't go to a small college town. We went to a major city. And I clicked with this individual. We were roommates. We were on the recruit together. We were recruited heavily together. But I never even paid attention, right? I never even understood. And one of the reasons why we having him on the show is because he's done some amazing things. But the first thing we wanted to acknowledge is that our guest, Derric Daniels, he was the first Black quarterback in Fordham University history. And he's still the only Black quarterback in Fordham University history. There's never been one before him. There's never been one after him. And, you know, I want him to touch on that. I want him to introduce himself and speak about the different things that has going on. But it's just, it's a major thing because a lot of our peers never knew, you know, and it's something that, you know, they didn't talk about. I mean, because it was, you know, we were in the moment. So just looking back, I just see that was very monumental. And I wanted him to come on the show this month in the spirit of Black History Month to introduce himself and, you know, tell us about what he got going on, as well as, you know, what did that experience mean to you?
How you doing, Derric? Welcome to the show, bro.
Welcome, Derric.
Hey, how's it going? I'm sorry, guys. I'm moving around just a little bit. I got to get settled in. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm great. Busy. Got a lot going on. So it's I'm trying to be cool, calm, and collected, but it's a lot of excitement that's going on in my world right now.
Okay. Donovan did a great job of giving us a little bit of your background. You wanna highlight on something that he didn't get a chance to touch on?
No, I'll leave it up to you guys to ask the questions. There's nothing much that I can really speak on of myself other than, you know, the overall of what he gave you guys. As you ask the questions, you know, we can dig deeper.
So, I mean, you know, so that experience, as you look back on it, you know, what does that mean? And then, you know, what does that mean for you or to you? And then still looking on the experience back then and then looking at it now, you know, how was that experience, you know, being the first Black quarterback at a predominantly white institution?
Yeah, so it's completely different from what I feel now to when we were in the moment. When we were in the moment, I couldn't focus on that. That was something that I heard, and it was never acknowledged in a way that, you know, it was like some sort of certificate or so like it was no real official acknowledgement of that. It was just recognition by a lot of our peers in the circumstances that we were in, being at a what we call a PWI, being at a PWI and being an athlete. You recognize, you know, your peers begin to recognize certain things, and when you're in those moments, it's hard to focus on what's happening. And so I had tunnel vision, so it was more about, you know, not messing up. You know, it was a lot on my shoulders, coming from where I come from, just wanting to be that model guy that can make it out and do things the right way and not make the you know, the bottom ticker for the wrong reasons on ESPN. So it was more about just walking that fine line and, you know, standing in my lane and focusing on ball and you know, staying out of the way.
So I know that you've transitioned into more of the youth space, giving back to the community. So with being from, you talked about being where you're from, being from Washington, D.C., why has that, you know, been, you know, your mission why has that been your mission versus, okay, I'm going to go try to play the NFL or anything like that? Why have you focused on the youth?
So it's various episodes or moments that has happened in my life. There's different people that I've been introduced to throughout my journey that has had influence on those things. It starts from family though. We have a giving spirit in my family. I watch my family give ever since I can remember, and they always gave back to the youth in the community. But I felt guilty for making it out. I come from a very large community neighborhood in Washington D.C. that was targeted heavily in the drug era in the 80s, and I grew up in that. In the 90s, it was very tough where I was from, and we didn't feel that, like as much that we were exposed to, and as much that happened in our neighborhood, we felt like we had a pretty good upbringing. But it was apparent to me that, my peers didn't grow up the same way I did in the same neighborhood. And I was afforded opportunities that everyone else wasn't. I went to school outside of the neighborhood. I actually followed through and played ball at the high school level. A lot of the guys in the neighborhood, they kept it in the neighborhood or at the youth level. They didn't make it to high school to play, and then let alone college. So once I graduated from college, and it wasn't the red carpet wasn't rolled out to the NFL, I wasn't for that struggle to hold on to that dream. And so I got into corporate America for about a year and a half and realized that I needed to do something that was fulfilling. And the only thing that I can see that was fulfilling was to empower the youth or to contribute to their development in the best way that I knew fit.
So you mentioned, you didn't tag it this way, but you mentioned it, survivor's remorse. And
Yeah.
you hear a lot of people who make it to a certain level or who are afforded certain things through athletics or whatever it may be, the case may be, who come from impoverished areas. How do you deal with helping someone who may have been in your shoes transition out of that? Because you work with youth now. So,
Yes, sir.
seeing somebody who have a shot to really make something of themselves, how do you help them see that they're responsible only for themselves in that moment? You know what I'm saying? Because you kind of got to be selfish to make it out, even if your motives are to provide for other people. You got to be selfish in that moment. So how do you get other youth to think of it in terms of this is a blessing versus it being a curse? You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. Well, that's the unique position that I'm in, having that experience, but also being able to tap into my emotions, to be able to identify with my environment, with the culture, to somewhat understand the psychology of it all. I directly relate to them in the most raw way possible. And that's just to be completely honest with them and let them know, look, I come from exactly where you come from. If you really want to know the history of how things, came about, I know a lot, and I use my experiences to motivate guys, because I wasn't an athlete who was in a bubble. So I wasn't an athlete who hung out with the other athletes in school all day or hung out with those guys after practice. I wasn't the kid who was just the jock. I didn't hang out. I wasn't clicked up with those guys a lot. Now, don't get me wrong. Those are my guys. I played quarterback, so I'm the leader of the team. I've always been close to those guys, but I'm a neighborhood guy. I come from a very large neighborhood. So when you have that going with you, man, you're always running back to that comfort. And I grew up in a large neighborhood, and I always ran to outside. I always wanted to be outside and involved in the neighborhood. And what that did was it gives me a different perspective, and I carry a different weight when I walk into these buildings and into these schools, and the kids, just by hearing me speak, it carries some weight. But then, their dad may know me, their mom, their uncle, someone in their neighborhood knows me in some way, and you just get that official stamp of approval. It's like, he's solid, he's good, you can trust him, and that's how I pretty much get in.
So Derric, Donovan was giving us a small synopsis on everything that you're doing, and he included an app. Can you give us more information on what the app entails and like the general reason for it?
Yeah. So it all stems from this story, like survivor's remorse, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I figured out that a lot of guys didn't know what was required of them to graduate. I mean, to receive a scholarship, and it didn't stop there. In high school, you always hear that classic line, "I didn't have the grades. I ain't had the grades," and a lot of guys use that as an excuse. And when I was, so a lot of guys in my neighborhood, they will always say, "No, if I had the same opportunity that you did, I would have made it." So a lot of guys would say, if I played high school, I would have made it to a bigger D1 school, if I had that opportunity. And then I had other guys say, well, if I made it that far in college, there's no way I wouldn't have made it pro if I was in your situation. And so, I take that personal, but I also, because I understand things in my environment, my situation, I responded to it in a different way. So I provided the tools and the resources to help everyone else get the same experience that I had, and see if you can make it then. Okay. And so my goal was to make everyone aware of what was required of them in life, not just to be eligible in football, but to understand that, you have aspirations to play at Miami University and you're 5'5", 125. You're a pretty good kid, but pretty good athlete. But when you don't meet the physical requirements, when you don't fare against those who you're up against to compete for that spot, is very difficult. But this right here, me putting everything in everyone's face and aligning things, it helps them really size themselves up and see where they fare against the competition. Mm-hmm. And so the app came as a way of me asking basic questions. What's your GPA? A lot of those guys just knew that they were eligible. It didn't matter. What's your NCAA GPA? And then that's a whole different ballgame. Once I realized that a lot of those guys wasn't aware of the NCAA clearinghouse, I had to make them aware of it. And so and then I went to the coaches. And once I realized that the coaches didn't really have that knowledge, then I had to create it myself. And so it started off with a book. And as I'm getting the kids to record their academic progress and their eligibility status, it trickled into nutrition intake and physical performance evaluation measures. And so that's how I got their attention. I'm like, well, you got to be eligible first of all, but then let's see if you size up to even, you don't look like a football player. That's how I get to them. I speak to them in that way. So what's the average guy that looks like you that gets that position? And well, what's the average guy what's the prototype for the position that you're looking for? And do you look like that? And so I put these pieces in place in this book, and the kids went crazy about it, because now they can come in and they can see their progress. They can size each other up and say, well, I'm qualified, or I'm not qualified, or this is the SAT score that I need now. They were aware of those things. They were aware of their core classes, the core classes that really meant that meant a lot in terms of the type of the SAT or ACT score that they needed based off of their GPAs. So they became aware of these things, and that awareness alone helped improve holistically. After a while of putting a bunch of kids in and tracking these books, I electronically inputted into Excel sheets. Once I started realizing I had data, I was able to manipulate that data in ways to help improve the way that things were run across the board, and from the administrative view all the way down to how the kids approach study hall.
Cool. So if you had to say you're getting ready to sell your app to someone who's looking to purchase it and take it bigger, how would you sum up your app in 2 to 3 sentences?
So you're saying if there was an investor that would like
if there was an investor who walked up to you right now and was like, listen, I need to know what you do, but I don't have 15 minutes for you to explain it to me.
Right.
How would you sum it up? How would you sell your product in 3 sentences?
The self-accountability system for student athletes and athletic organizations. So
hey, that was good.
That's it. It's as simple as that. It's a database.
That was good.
It's the future of sports.
I'm with it.
And I've watched the process, and and this is an important thing that I want to touch on before we wrap up. Before we wrap up this interview, I seen this process, right? He's had this nonprofit. He's a humble guy, right? So he's had this nonprofit for about 10 years, and I've been watching him develop this book, and I steered him in the right direction to get his book published. But just for the people out there that's listening, just understanding that, dreams don't happen overnight, right? You just don't wake up one day and say, okay, this is going to happen, right? I've watched this guy, up at the wee hours because he's working with a team overseas. And I watched him, actually do the Excel sheets and do the databases and see those things and do the case studies to then now see that, what he's doing can impact the masses. So, I encourage people out there to, don't give up. You know what I'm saying? Because I've had those conversations with him like, man, this is, this is a lot, you know what I'm saying? And so everybody on here is business owners. So I just think that that's something that people have to understand, man, when they getting into business, that it's not going to be, just the red carpet. Like you said, the red carpet is not just going to be rolled out. I think that your story and your journey, and I think that it's just starting, but we commend you. And we just want, if you can wrap up and let us listeners know, man, but just speak on that, man, just briefly, just what have you learned from this process?
Well, it's a test of faith. It's a test of, you and I, this is the message that I deliver to not only the youth, but anyone who's an entrepreneur or is trying to achieve anything in life. It's, you have to really align what you say you want with the work that you're doing to get there. And so I always keep myself in perspective with that simple theory. This is what I want, and this is a process to get there. And so I've understood the entire process from actually trying this out myself, going into the classrooms for years, and having a contract folder that turned into a book. And so it started off as just a contract folder, and it morphed into a book, and it started service-based. I just wanted to go in and help these guys out and run study hall. That morphed into these tools, and it became innovative with the technology. And I thought that was all just going to turn over really quickly, but the app it was a 3-year process. It was language barriers. It's a lot of money involved, a lot of money invested. A lot of people didn't believe along the way. A lot of people, fell on and off of the bandwagon. And it's just a true test of, you got to be arrogant. You got to be determined enough to follow through and stick through it. And as you say, man, like once you look up and realize how far you've come, you don't realize it until, you speak to guys like you and the Athlete Foundation and some of the high schools that I've worked with. And they're like, man, I can remember 12 years ago when you came up with all of this. And I remember 5 years ago when you were the guest speaker at the LinkedIn headquarters in the Empire State Building. And it's like, it's the same message. Nothing has changed. Like this is all the same. So it's just stand down. It's the toughest thing to do in the world. But if you do it, then the rewards are like, it's the sky's the limit. It's just, there's no words to express, that ultimate feeling of, just sticking through something.
Well, congratulations, Derric. It's a blessing to have you on here, man. We're honored to have you on the Pint Size Podcast. Much success in everything that you will continue to do. Much success to the app. I got some people I'm thinking about sending it to. I was actually in my mind as you were saying it. Do me a favor. Could you give the people all your information as far as your website, Instagram handles, as you get ready to go?
And where we can buy the book?
Yeah, so my name, Derric Daniels. You can find, that's my name on Facebook. You can kind of Google that to get to all the other things that you just said. But my handles on social media is Fordham's First, FORDHAMS, the number 1 ST. That's consistent across all social media platforms. My website is theobjbook.com. That's where you'll get all of the back information on, all of the different components of the book, and you'll get access to the app. You can register for the app right now. I'm actually doing a major deal right now, and if you buy the book in the month of February, you'll get access to the app for free for a year. And so I'm doing that. Currently, I'm running that deal. But you can find me on Instagram on all of those on Fordham at Fordham First, and you can check me out on the website. You can reach out through there, register now, because things are going to change really fast. I'm updating this thing every other week. So the app that I've seen that I've been working on for even the last 6 months has changed every month. And so in the next few months, it's going to change into a totally different, it's going to morph into something different. And so I want to encourage users to get on now before it gets to a point where I'm not able to communicate in this way with them, so I encourage people to get on now.
Cool. All right, much success, brother.
Thank you.
For having you, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, brother, man, we appreciate you, man. Our listeners heard it first. You're seeing a future billionaire in the making. This app's going to revolutionize the sports world. And you heard it here first, people. You know what I'm saying? So we salute you, brother, man. Appreciate you for hopping on, man. And we'll be on the lookout for all the great things that you got going on.
Have a good one, man. Nice to meet you.
All right, thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, guys, you heard it here first. Fordham's first, Derric Daniels, the marketing coach's college QB. So he was the one throwing you the touchdown passes?
Oh, yeah, that's my guy, man. And it's crazy. We was roommates, too. But like I said, yeah, we was brought in together, man, and we, when you just connect with good people, man, it don't matter where you are. And it's so crazy because he's moved to Texas, and we literally live around the corner from each other now.
Hold on, he in Texas with
Wait a minute.
He in DC?
No, he's from DC, but he moved down here. He moved down here to finish his app. Like Austin's a very, he'd be back and forth to Austin and stuff, and he has some investors down here. So Austin is like the next Silicon Valley, where tech, from a tech standpoint. So you have a lot of tech companies that is in Austin, Texas. And then he has some investors here in Houston. So it just kind of made sense to, change where he was living at to, get to the finish line.
That's dope. Well, guys, that was firsthand Black history in the making. You know what I mean? So we don't want to ever look over that as if it's not important, because Black history is still being made, like Boy said.
Yeah.
February the 8th means that Valentine's Day is right around the corner.
Hey,
it's knocking on the door.
It's vastly approaching.
What kind of cool shit y'all gonna do?
I don't know.
Every day was Valentine's Day, I thought.
It is. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not really, you know what I'm saying? So listen, before I can do anything, the first thing is always, you got a sitter. You gotta secure the sitter in. You know what I'm saying? But the hard thing about Valentine's Day is because most people don't want to watch your kids because they doing something for Valentine's Day.
That's true. Could be true.
That's a reality.
Not.
It is.
How old is DJ?
Right.
Right. He's 11.
You can't hold it down for 3 hours?
He ain't that.
No, he can't hold it down.
Come on, I don't believe that, man.
He can hold it down with his brother, not his sister. He can
walk all over.
Okay, that's probably true.
Listen here. I'd have been in the bathroom and Drew done walked outside on me. so listen here. You got to know your kids, man. I'm looking around like, where in the world?
Say less.
She's standing in the driveway. So I'm telling you here, for me, and shout out to other couples out there, you gotta lock in a babysitter first. I said that, you know, hey man, sometimes celebrate on the 15th. Look, if I do it on Monday, now my mother-in-law, she ain't doing nothing. She'll watch the kids. You know what I'm saying?
No. So everybody knows the day after is not Valentine's Day.
I know, but you're not hearing me. See what I'm saying? This is the problem.
How long
Coming all year.
How many years you been married now?
11. It'll be 11.
Yeah, y'all got it down to a system. Valentine's Day might be Monday in their house, cute.
It might be Monday. I'm saying. Now, listen, I got a young mother. She's still trying to kick it. She don't want to babysit.
She celebrate her own Valentine's Day.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I still got a debate with that. I'm like, Nana, watch these kids. You done have 50 Valentine's Days. watch these kids, man. Nah, so, you know. What you doing, Blue?
Massages. Got some massages lined up. And probably brunch. Since it's Sunday, I love brunch, so probably some brunch.
Well, I have someone that can help us on our Valentine's Day. Like our little, what we gonna do? Give us some ideas. Maybe staying in, maybe going out.
Yeah, I need all the help I can get.
Help.
I need all the help. We got an AAU tournament this weekend. I'm in the gym.
Okay. Hey, you sat down like you own that couch, girl.
Hey, but I represent.
Love. You've been in there the whole time. Okay.
Maybe.
All right. What's up?
Allegedly.
What's up?
So many things.
How you doing?
I got it up here, and I was listening. It was actually good because I was listening, and I could piggyback off of what you said with the kids, because you can utilize your kids. You don't necessarily have to get a babysitter. Like if your kid, depending on how old your kids are, they can set up a little thing where they're like servers or, help along with the planning. You don't necessarily have to not include the kids. Like it's about love, not just romance.
Talk to them. See, now you coming in. Listen, you coming through.
Hey, come on. No.
you coming through with the bars. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm just like it. Yeah.
No, for real. I want you to introduce yourself to the show. Let everybody know who you are.
I'm Juwanna. I don't know what else.
Juwanna's biased. You know what I'm saying? She's single, no kids, so she got her whole thought process.
Hey, you're not gonna do that, right?
I'm just saying.
Just a little bit.
I'm saying because she should.
So I'm not.
Let's go. Talk to us.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. We missed your name because we were talking over you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm Juwanna.
Juwanna.
Yes.
Juwanna,
welcome.
The love doctor? You got a name?
Yes.
All right, don't say it like own it.
AKA.
AKA the love doctor.
No, I think I just love, so I just kind of like look at different aspects of love.
Okay.
Like what we may not see, she gonna see it. Talk you off the ledge, make it more romantic.
Okay, so all right. So we know that last February, Boy brought this to our attention. We weren't in quarantine during Valentine's Day. We were all out and about, kicking it. The virus was going strong in China, you know what I'm saying, in France. We was out living our lives, all right? Fast forward a year later, most of us are in a house. Restaurants are limited, depending on state to state, different rules, different places. If I'm in the house and it's just me and my lady and I need something to do, but I want to make it about love and romance, you got some things that I could do.
So if you want to make it about love, I think it's always good to pay attention. So anything that she mentions over the last like month or so, as little as like a candy bar or some chips, anything that because women want to know that you're listening. So I would just bring anything that she likes. Like we like small things too. So like if you put together like a bag or a basket of just like her favorite thing. And then if you're in the house, I like the question games because I feel like I feel like if you're asking each other questions, it opens up conversations. It opens up like a little bit more of intimacy. So I just go on Google and Google like it's like 100 questions that you can ask, and it's just like questions that y'all can have fun. Take a shot if you don't want to answer the question. You know, just stuff that you could just do in the house to have fun. And you could just do appetizers. Just do like some apps and some, I don't know, her favorite liquor or her favorite drink.
Or you said take shots if you
like
don't
a little
answer the
picnic.
questions.
Pardon me?
You said take shots if you don't answer the questions.
Like say you don't want to answer a question, like okay, I'm taking a
I
shot.
ain't gonna answer none of the questions. We gonna take all the shots.
Well,
So let me.
What's funny is you're gonna be drunk and then you're gonna be answering all the questions.
Telling the truth.
Right.
So let me ask you this question: is Valentine's Day important?
Relative.
Yeah.
So to the person, so to the person that feels like they pay attention or is, you know, do things on a consistent basis, right? Does Valentine's Day still hold that much weight for someone, or for a couple, or just now I'm just saying 2021, is it the same, right?
According to her opinion?
In my opinion, to me, it is because it's a celebration of love. Christmas is a celebration of families. People like to get together. Easter is it's a celebration of love. So why not celebrate your love for each other?
And not necessarily romantic love, but love for friends, love for family, it's
love day, B.
Right. No, yeah, I just
you talk about it. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying you see a lot of different things now, right? So like Christmas, right? Traditionally, you know, everybody gets together. We open the gifts, and then you start seeing as time goes on, you're seeing people travel during Christmas, or they're doing different things. So just from in that aspect, just looking at it is like, okay, it's Valentine's. Does it still holds the same? Like we looked at it 15 years ago. And now, 2020, just, 2021, just curious from that,
For me,
just
it
curious.
seems like you would appreciate it more now because of how much we need each other. Like you see how much it is important to tell people how much you love them, or you never know what's going to happen between today or tomorrow. You may not even get next year to celebrate Valentine's Day. So why not use today or the day for love to celebrate and tell someone how much you appreciate and love them? I mean, holidays in general may be different 15 years from now, but I mean, all we can look to is what's happening now.
I got a question for you, Love.
To me, yes.
So my question is this. At one point in time, from my understanding, it was about the man as well. You know what I mean? Now it's more commercially all about the woman. How do we find a way to be included in this celebration? Because oftentimes we're overlooked.
Good question, brother.
What about?
I think
Way to go, Blue.
That's hard for me because I'm not
the love doctor.
Yeah, like I'm not like I'm like compassionate. I'm all over you. So I think it's really has to do with the person.
I don't know, Love Doctor. Because if we rewind the tape, Love Doctor, you said, see what she likes. Find out, listen to her.
But I'm talking to you.
You are a straight man, aren't you?
But no, I'm talking to you. If she was here,
Q.
I would be
come
her,
on, Q.
I would be telling her the same thing.
All right, I'm just saying.
No,
you giving the advice out here, Love Doctor.
If she's
you could have said, make sure you guys are listening to each other.
But I'm not talking to
Make sure y'all listening to each other.
Y'all got some deeper issues that I don't have the time frame to talk about.
Give things that y'all both like. I'm saying, speak to the people too.
Well, if I was giving Juwanna advice, I would tell her the same thing. Like, well, what does he talk about? Like, what does he like to eat? What does he like to drink? Like, let's cook something that he might mention that necessarily mentioned in passing that you don't think that he thought you was actually listening to. So I think that's all around. And I think it doesn't have to be traditional. Like, you don't have to buy roses. You can buy sunflowers. You could buy, calla lilies, like, just something that represents what your relationship means to each other. I think that you should really make it personal. Like, it doesn't have to be chocolates and flowers if that's not what she likes. I mean, she could like that you go to the grocery store, put the groceries up, and cook dinner.
The car, take the trash out, make sure this house clean.
I think it's all about making it about you all. Like, I'm really a firm believer in making your own rules in relationships. So whatever you all feel like shows love, then that's what you all should do. And sometimes that incorporates the kids. I mean, it could be like you all sitting down at dinner and having dinner together. Like, that could be important to her.
So, love doctor. This remind me of that episode of Martin. Go and get on up out of here, the love doctor, right? So, love doctor, right? So I like what you said, right? Make it about you guys, right? So, and I feel like in spite of what my co-host is saying, so if I gotta make it about us, right, and say I gotta celebrate the day before or the day after, is that frowned upon if that has to work for us as a couple?
But you've been married for going on.
And no, not in my opinion. It could be any day. Like if you have a thing about Valentine's Day or February the 14th, then choose a different day that you're gonna celebrate. It's just about the celebration of it all. Like, it doesn't have to be the 14th to me. I don't know. I feel like it's a slight.
I like her, man.
But I think it's a slight insecurity in not
doctor.
Celebrating on Valentine's
Because who was you with on Valentine's Day if I'm getting Monday?
Oh, see, cut it out. We ain't doing
that. See what I'm saying? You see how we swinging it?
You see how we swinging
it? Oh, now the 15th is the side piece day.
That's why I say I think it's a slight insecurity in having to celebrate it on Valentine's Day, because it's like, what else was you doing? Okay, I was at work.
I was lying because you couldn't get it out.
I'm just saying, like,
Love Doctor had a story on hand, didn't she?
Like, my car broke. Like, it don't have to be like
5 things to say when you didn't show up on the 14th. I was at work.
My car broke down.
My car broke down.
Don't use the car broke down. That ain't gonna work. I'll come get you.
Oh, shoot.
No, that one ain't gonna work. But no, I don't think the 14th, it has to be. I almost kind of think it'd be special if you did on another day, since it's so much pressure on the 14th. But that is the love day.
This is what I'm gonna do. I'm about to zoom in on you, and I'm about to give you your own time. We're gonna chop this up and make this his own YouTube clip, okay? All right, this is the moment of truth.
Oh boy.
We need 5 things, right off the top of your head, even if it's something you said, just put them in order. 5 things to spice up Love Day 2021. You ready? And go.
5 things. Okay.
Well, how the camera catch you like that now?
Right. You need alcohol.
Okay.
You need. Should I say a number? Wait, is this for the guy or the girl?
No, it's for the couple as a whole.
Oh, for the couple. So alcohol, I think your favorite foods.
Number 2 is favorite food. Okay.
Yes. A game. A playlist.
Yes.
Ooh, talk to me. Oh, you got to get a playlist.
Yeah, 2 playlists.
One
for love,
chicka wow wow,
and the one for after love.
All right. Okay.
Oh, what would be the 5th thing?
You said alcohol.
Did we say a gift?
I said alcohol. I said your favorite food. I said a playlist. Oh, games.
Playlist, games. And
you're not getting no gift? That is the gift?
A gift.
A gift?
We not getting a gift?
Okay, a gift.
There's some controversy over there.
Oh, you know what would be it's fun too, is if you put a price limit on the gift. So you got $20, you got $10 to spend on the gift to make, so you put a little bit more thought into it. It don't have to be nothing big, but something thoughtful that you can find that the other person said for under $20.
I'm good with that price range.
I love it.
So,
I love it.
You just got to keep it simple. If you love each other, it's not that complicated.
I like the love doctor.
The $20 for him.
Everybody gonna be like, but why?
Who told you to tell them $20?
My takeaway is that $20 You know what I'm saying? I like what
Set
you
a
did.
limit.
My man,
Set a
Peter
limit.
Russell had to
Set
be
a limit and
Valentine's
think
Day.
about it. Be thoughtful.
Be creative.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You know what I'm
be
saying?
creative.
Like
You-
I ain't trying to keep putting on no show on Valentine's Day. You know
and
what I'm saying?
have fun. It's fun. It's
Yeah,
a
then the
fun day.
birthday the next month. My daughter's birthday the next.
No,
day.
we're not.
It's just
That
a
don't have
lot.
nothing.
Yeah.
That don't have nothing. You took it too far. That don't have nothing to do.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's
That's what I'm saying.
isolate each thing. Call it
You
thing.
got
Love it.
you got kids.
I do have one child.
When's your child's birthday?
January 7th, right after Christmas.
That's not right after Christmas.
Yes,
If I'm your kid, I'm like, that was 2 weeks ago.
But you're the person to talk
I'm
about
to,
a
my
month
daughter.
later after Valentine's Day. It's the kids. I mean, it's her
My daughter's birthday is the next day.
birthday. It's the same paycheck.
That's what I'm
Hey,
saying.
say less.
Right. That's why I gotta pick another day. You know what I'm saying? I got you though. I understand.
No, just
Love doctor.
They done
That's
made you the love
right.
doctor.
No, just have fun though. That's the main thing, is to have fun with your mate. Whatever that means to you all. Laugh as much as you can.
Ooh, I like it.
For sure.
Love Doctor, you're a friend of the show. We're gonna officially
You're a friend of the
friend of the show, which means you can drop by sporadically whenever you feel like it. Maybe not whenever you feel like it, but whenever you feel like it. You're officially.
I'd be happy to come back whenever you guys. I got an opinion about everything.
Perfect. All right. Well, I'm hoping everybody had a great Valentine's Day, that you're able to celebrate it with your loved ones. Shout out to Q, who seems very, very suspect on what's going on during her Valentine's Day celebration. I'm not completely sure what's happening over
Y'all
there.
didn't ask me.
No, I didn't. You said
Well,
she's single and no kids.
Yeah, and acting like I'm lonely because of
We
that.
didn't
And I
say you were
appreciate that.
lonely, because
We
clearly
didn't say we're lonely.
you were doing
We
I didn't
just
something.
stated
appreciate it.
facts. We just stated facts. You don't have
But
any
you
kids.
know that I didn't appreciate it. So in previous relationships, what we did was, because I live in Ohio and we celebrate Sweetest Day. Sweetest Day was for the man, and Valentine's Day was for me. So
So you and the love doctor, y'all ain't even on the same page.
No, I-
Mm.
we're not the same people.
Yeah.
I said the same. I said the same page. I didn't say anything.
Well, I'm going to get a card and a gift. But
This is a touchy subject for Q. This is a touchy subject for Q.
I'm a lot more like, oh, you should do this.
Yeah,
oh,
and I'm
you should
like
do that.
I think not.
Oh, so the love doctor, you a lot more what? What you about to say? A little more seat? What you about to say? I don't know. That's your,
You must say a little more season? Is that
I
what
don't know. I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out what she's saying over there.
Season has a little
She
different
look-
connotation.
I'm trying to play it.
Oh. Q, why you so
more
Q?
experience in the area of love? That's all. That's it.
Q, why you so controversial?
Look at it.
We know when someone's trying to play us.
Very mindful.
She said I'm a little more, and she left it there. So
No, I
I'm
did
just
say I'm
asking.
a little more. You should do this. You should do this. Like giving. Like you should.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm more like, I don't think so. I'm going to do this and that's it.
Yeah. Like, okay, that's enough.
I've done enough.
I'm like, did you write a letter?
And kiss it, write a 4-page letter and then close it with a kiss.
Yeah.
No.
Put the red lipstick on and kiss the bottom. Did a little spray like when we was in high school.
That's a movie.
The love doctor.
That's some movie stuff.
That's me. Listen, I'm not doing that.
Movie stuff. But no,
She came through and dropped them bars today.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that was great.
Oh, thank you.
You guys got anything that's cooking, that's coming along, that you guys are working on, you want people to be informed of before we wrap this up?
I mean,
No, we got a
Look at
We
you,
got a
you
val-
ain't coming on
we
this
got a
show.
Valentine's Day.
For me, like you got an announcement.
In the spirit of love, we got a Valentine's Day show coming up this weekend. Sold out show at the restaurant, so that's good. We for the lovers. We wanted to make sure the lovers know what's going on.
Specific, bro.
Oh, so for my Cleveland folks out there, your boy is part restaurant owner, so we put together a nice weekend of events. We're doing a Valentine's Day show. in Cleveland, Ohio. And it's gonna be a good show, man.
At where?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you, bro.
Oh.
I'm gonna tell you. He got the Blue got the prompt cards. Now say this. No, but yeah, though. We'll put it in the notes, everything. But the name of the restaurant is called Silks. Like I said, it's in Cleveland, Ohio, in Maple. But we'll put that in the show notes. But just in the spirit of I think, and even in the pandemic, and a lot of things is going on in Ohio with a lot of the different rules and regulations. So we've been doing a lot of events and stuff that was going on. You know, doing a lot of different events at the restaurant to keep the doors open, man, during these tough, challenging times.
I'm with that. And it's black owned, so we always about supporting black businesses.
For sure.
Q-Dog, what up? You got something cooking? Got anything coming up?
Nope, just trying to pass my real estate test. Pray for me.
Praying hands emoji.
Yes, thank you.
Right, I need that Cleveland weather to shape up, man. Working on these houses, man, it's hard in the real estate game and in the cold, man. So hope the Lord bless Cleveland with some good weather.
What you got going on, Michael Blue?
You guys pray for me, man. I tore my ACL. Haven't really been too public about it, but I've been documenting the whole process, the whole journey. So I'm gonna start sharing this road. It hasn't stopped anything. Just kind of slowed some things down and pivoted, but I think it's all for a beautiful reason. To be completely honest with you, at first when it happened, I wasn't very optimistic. I was, racking my brain trying to figure out what was next, but I feel like, there's certain things that we are given or tasked with, you know what I'm saying, to sometimes slow us down, to make us do certain things differently, or to wake us up, or whatever, you know what I mean? Just prove our resiliency. So, first time I'm actually mentioning it, but that's what's going on with me. So I gotta have surgery pretty soon. It won't affect with the show at all. I'm hoping. You guys should be able to still roll apart from me, but I'll keep you guys posted, as that time comes.
On a positive note, man. No, I'm saying on a positive note, the surgeries and technology is so much advanced now, man, that, that ACL doesn't mean the same thing it did, 20, 30 years ago, man. So just, keep that in mind, and man, continue to be positive about it, man. You'll bounce back better than ever. Probably better than you are now.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I agree. All right, episode 3? Episode 2, season 2. We rolling. And we rolling.
Who you rolling?
We rolling.
God bless
Hey,
y'all.
so
Thanks for listening.
Make sure you subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you subscribe to us on Spotify. Make sure you keep leaving them reviews, keep leaving those comments. And then check us out on YouTube, man. And all our episodes is going on YouTube. So keep streaming, keep subscribing to that YouTube channel, and like us on Facebook. The numbers is growing. The participation is growing. We appreciate the love, man. We see you guys or talk to you next time.
Holla.
Holla.
Holla.